People have grown to have a certain standard.
Yeah, we are well below that line. Comfortable in our mediocrity.
Welcome back. Today we are saying nothing misogynistic. And we are making my grandfather's famous pistachio cake. Infused, of course. It is my favorite dessert. I have a pistachio tattooed upon me.
Don't show them.
You can't see my nuts. Step 1.
Turns out that's not even true anyway.
We're putting all the dry stuff together. We got some flour, we got some sugar and cinnamon, baking powder, baking soda, salt. Get it all, why don't you? We got some pistachio Jello. It's great. Adding Jello to your cake will make it more moist. What they're telling me backstage is that the moistness we are feeling right now is because of Jello. That's why Bill Cosby loved it. Was that misogynistic? We're gonna mix all this together. Son of a bitch.
It's all bad.
It's all bad. Don't ruin my grandfather's recipe, okay? It's Christmas. We don't yell. Christmas Eve is the best holiday.
Way better than Thanksgiving.
Way better than Thanksgiving. Better than Easter. Halloween, we're coming close. That's a close number 2. Love Halloween. But Christmas Eve is great because you got no gifts. You got a bunch of family. Not a big fish guy. I'm not even a fish guy. But it's still the best holiday. Do we have time for my vendetta against Santa? Now we're going to add our softened butter. We got half cactus butter, half regular butter. And this is going to be about 400 matriculating gnomes. Do know they love to matriculate. Grandpa, if you're watching, I shall save a piece for you. Get high in heaven together. I'm sure Jesus would love that. Didn't I have a cover for this thing? Wow. How far have we come? Take that, Mussolini.
Fuck you, Jeff Bezos.
You want this to be like a nice crumble. You don't want to melt your butter. You don't want it to be hard. You want like a nice little crumble action. You want to show the good people the crumble, Evan?
Nah.
No? Okay, we won't show you the crumble. You don't deserve it. All right, now we're going to combine and whisk all of our wets.
Put your wets in the bowl.
3 eggs. Got a cup of milk. Use whole milk, please, for the love of God. Teaspoon of vanilla. A little extra for Grandpap. And we've got a half cup, or a full cup, sorry, of sour cream. Delight. We're going vanilla because that's middle of the road, Randy Newman, making everybody happy. That's how we're going to do it. You could use almond or vanilla, either way. You want me to get some almond extract?
No.
Okay. We're going to whisk these together. Do you remember the first time you realized Santa wasn't real? Really? You don't remember? I guess you're Jewish. Yeah, you do seem like the type. Jew means what? He who wrestles with God? How do I know more about Judaism than you, goddammit? I think Moses is what I'm quoting. Moses. I think actually my grandfather ruined Santa for me. I wouldn't say ruined it. We want to go until this is just combined. Don't overmix here. She's a beaut. So we've got our mixture all mixed up. You don't want to overmix. It should look a little lumpy and clumpy. That's okay. Those are the pistachio chunks. So we're making this in the bundt tin. So the bottom here is going to be the top again, as nice and confusing as it is. What we like to do is we put a little bit of white sugar because we want like a nice little crust on the top when we flip it over. And a little bit of crushed pistache. Lovely. Nothing too crazy. We want to pour half the batter in and then do the same thing. And then we'll pour the rest. There you go, about half. Let's give this a nice little even spread. Now we're going to go back with some sugar in the middle, some more pistache, and for a little bit of ennui, some cinnamon right in the middle. Getting some nice layers. So my grandfather is a 5'5" Italian immigrant. That's key to the story. I was probably about 5 years old. My brother was maybe 2 or 3. My sister was maybe 7. And my grandfather thought it would be a lovely thing for us children to dress up like Santa. And we probably had like 30 or 40 family members here. It's Christmas Eve, and all of a sudden there's a knock at the door, and there's Santa at the front. He's got like a big bag with him. He's incredibly excited and jovial. And he walks in the house, and instead of saying ho, 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 he goes, ha, ha, ha. Doesn't fucking know. So he just walks in and goes, ha, ha, ha. And which was like our first tip that something was up. But immediately my sister looks down at Santa's shoes, and it's those, you know, those incredibly stereotypical tiny Italian leather with the little fucking, that like no laces that have that little thing dangling.
Like a little loafer.
Yeah, a little low. He still had his Italian loafers on from the whole night. So my sister points at his shoes. It was like, we knew it was my grandfather. Everybody started crying. All the adults started laughing. It was like a joy for them to ruin Santa for us.
I think that's what it was?
Yeah, well, I mean, at that point, yes.
Your family, a bunch of supervillains.
We got our oven at 350. We're gonna bake this fucker for 55 minutes. You want this top to be nice and golden brown. I like to bake it on the bottom rack because sometimes, you know, the top gets a little bit crispity. So bake it on the bottom rack, bake it for 55 minutes. And then we're gonna take it out and make a little glaze for you and serve it the fuck up. The house is filled with a nice pistachio aroma. I wanna make a nice thick little glaze, very similar to a shame glaze if you've been following along.
Shame glaze. Got that shame glaze.
Very similar to the shame glaze if you've been following along. What we're gonna do is just take a cup of powdered sugar, got 2 tablespoons of softened cream cheese. We have 2 tablespoons of melted butter. We have plenty of cactus in our cake. We don't need to add any more here. We're gonna just do a splash, tablespoon of heavy cream. I'm gonna give it a little whisk-a-doodle-doo. Beautiful. I like to go light on the heavy cream at first because then we know how much we need to make, you know, kind of add. You could add milk if you want, if you prefer milk. She's loosening up. That's what happens. Just a little tiny, just a little drip. Oh, she's slutty. She's slutty. Cake is ready. Let's go get our cake, dress it up, and eat the fuck out of it. All right, we're just gonna give this a little flip. Cool. Needs a little bit more coaxing out. We're gonna pour this shame glaze. Eva doesn't want me to do it, but I'm gonna do it for you.
Don't you do it.
Right now.
Don't you do it.
We're gonna glaze it, we're gonna eat it, and we are going to celebrate it for Grandpa. You ready?
Come in.
What a joy. You get to experience this cake. This cake's been
never seen or heard of this cake before.
Sure.
This is a new experience for me, this cake.
This cake is worldwide. This cake's been written about. It's heralded.
Heralded
People
in the
in-
New York Times.
That
Can you
is
eat this thing?
that is factual. People in England have had this cake, Scotland, France.
This is a cake that traveled the world.
Traveled the world. My grandpa used to work for Pan Am, so you know that's very befitting of his station.
Okay. Ooh. This is another one of those situations where the earthiness of the cactus, it just contributes to the overall flavor. It's just the nuttiness, the crunch. I like the icing. I'm going to go ahead and say.
Taking all the icing from me.
Well, you made the icing. I figure if you want more, you can make some more. No problem.
Wow, how thoughtful of you. Don't do it. Leave it for me. Let me have a... Wow, what a prick. The last straw to Grandpa's cake.
The icing really made it more than anything else.
What a man.
Enjoy the cake, Tom. Tell the people about it. Tell them what you like about it. Thanks so much, Grandpa.
This cake went with my grandfather everywhere he went. You know, every holiday there was this cake, and it's nice to have this cake around for the holidays because, you know, we just get to all sit quietly and eat it and think of him, which is really beautiful. And it makes me sad, but it makes me happy. So we'll figure that out in the therapy. You don't need a couple days to make this cake. You can make it with or without the cactus, and Christmas is only a few days away. So make this cake, you know, and reflect on the things you have, the things that you love, and understand the inevitable bitch that is, you know, sometimes the hardest things to carry are the things we leave behind. And that's, you know, time for Christmas isn't really about presents or the tree or any of that shit. It's the people that you love, family, friends. Cake is as good as ever. Follow us on the Patreon. That's so good. I am going to go forget that I have emotions and eat that entire cake and then sleep for 2 days. And I will wake up Christmas Eve just in time to eat a bunch of fish. Pasta with eel sauce. Ooh, got the cactus there. We will see you next week. And then we will see you next year. We're making Mom's rice balls next week. So fucking get on it. Get ready. Get excited. Have a Merry Christmas from my bosom to yours.
A lot of bosom.
It's a lot of bosom. It's filled with a lot of love, and it's just for you.
I think you're lactating.
Lord knows I don't save any of it for me. Wow, this is fucking good. This is the best. Have this cake. It's the best cake in the world.